The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
95 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in his first half.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now it's Jackson.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
On third down, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Herbert now. Try to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered, they'd have the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
He's into the secondary.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Ravens get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going.
Just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. Throwing right, and that's complete. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, Herbert. He'll get this to Eckler. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So a decent gain there, but not their 4th consecutive first down like they had on the first 3 plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They'd gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Well, almost a win for the defense, but if that's your win, you're not doing very well right now.
Oh, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Herbert. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That were good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
On the return, the Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson airing it out, looking for Ridley. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Tucker's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalpost. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Khalil Mack. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Tough one there. First drive of the 3rd quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be an even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
140 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games for whatever reason. Their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage 1 play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
Eckler will score. Touchdown, Chargers. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the 2 teams by far, and that's great complimentary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. More from L.A. in a moment. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a 1-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Now Jackson on 1st down. And now here's another interception. Derwin James with a pick. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Herbert for Keenan Allen. That's complete. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
The
Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
148 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Someone's been having a good game so far. And you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. And now the Raven defense is going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
But I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Herbert. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. So consecutive picks, and each offense, you know, they drove the ball close enough to at least attempt a field goal, but on back-to-back drives, the defense has stood firm and forced an interception.
Yeah, it's a really nice battle seeing one answer the other with a turnover to keep points off the board.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down.
Room here to run. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
Touchdown, Baltimore.
Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert.
He dumps it to Eckler underneath. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've got their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Up the middle with Eckler.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 163 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
On 1st and 10 is Spiller.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On on 2nd down and 4. Herbert across the formation. He's got a man. That's Allen. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
With that impact, I fully expected the ball to pop free. I still remember an old defensive back friend of mine. He used to say, guess what? Even if they catch the ball, make sure they have a memento to take back to the sideline.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a toss running left. Eckler to the 36-yard line. Stop there.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. He finds his target, Allen. Touchdown! Keenan Allen with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Chargers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Throwing is Jackson. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game ready. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Now Jackson. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Kenneth Murray, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. The Ravens send their punter out now, standing just about on his own goal line. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Take it at the 37. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going.
But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They can definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
Ekeler going to get it again on second down.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, here's Ekeler. And he works free. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown.
Austin Ekeler,
his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year.
And the Chargers start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And my goodness, another interception. Derwin James with a pick.
And the Chargers are going to have it here just past the 25. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
They started on the ground with Ekeler. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that, plus 3.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Once more, here's Ekeler. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. They'll run for it with Ekeler, and he will have a first down here at about the 40.
A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Draw play, it's Eckler. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
A give, Eckler running to the right. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards there. The Chargers have a first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Kyle Hamilton picks it. And the Ravens are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean,
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
A slant route caught by Bateman.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field, and now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And as this defense walks off the field, they should do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. We go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Chargers, they move back over 500 now at 4-3.